Alright, Slippers. Something I can help you with?
Hey, Taryl, I got something I think you might be interested in.
Whatever you got, Slippers, I ain't interested in.
Oh yeah, Taryl, this thing is gold.
Yeah, what is it?
Old vintage mini bike frame.
Well, maybe for once you might have something that I might be interested in, Slippers.
Let me grab this kid. Have him help me bring it in.
Okay.
Take a look at it.
Slippers, you know I have a name, it's not just Kid.
Well, whatever your name is, get out there and help me get there.
I don't have to help you do anything.
Respect your elders, because I got a bad back. So you're going to get out of there and help me get to work. Yeah, just pick this baby up.
Wow, that's sweet.
Got a pretty good little deal. Give me a hand there, sonny boy. All right, be careful. She's pretty heavy.
Sorry. Sorry, Slippers. Well, let's get this frame inside. I want to show Taryl. Look at this thing. Hey, check it out, pal. Look at this mini bike frame Slippers brought in. Oh, yeah, and he also got hurt. What happened, Slippers?
That carrier dropped that mini bike frame right on my bad foot that I just had surgery on 7 years ago.
Yeah, walk it off, Slippers. You'll be all right. You know what you got there, Slippers?
What's that, Taryl?
You got a mid to late 60s Chieftain mini bike.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. So, obviously it's pretty rare, so it's going for big dough.
It's not that rare, Slippers, but I do want it. What do you want for it, Slippers?
Well, I looked on eBay and it was going for like $3,000 just for the frame.
You're not gonna get $3 from me.
Well, I was thinking somewhere in the ballpark of $2,700.
I got a better idea. How about I just trade you something that you're gonna need that you could use right now?
Oh, okay. Well, what is it?
Let me go get it.
It's my foot. It is really bothering me.
From that famous movie and TV show.
Oh, wow.
Texas Walker Ranger.
I love that show.
That's right. The official Walker from Texas Walker Ranger.
I could definitely use that right now, Mother.
You sure could. That's what I mean. How about it? I'll trade you.
Mother, could you use
Trade you
that?
straight up.
I don't know. This is a vintage antique, Taryl. Big money what they're seeking on this.
Oh, so you want something else to sweeten the deal?
Yeah, that would be nice if I could get something else.
Something else you might want, Slippers.
Okay, well, let's see what you got here.
You're gonna want these.
Oh, wow.
MC Hammer's Slippers.
Oh, yeah.
MC Hammer's Golden Slippers.
Yeah.
We got a deal, Slippers?
Sure do, Taryl.
Hold out your hand.
All right.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You don't shake a man's hand
I
like
think you
that.
were doing that to
weirdo.
my hand.
Here's your stupid slippers.
Ooh, yeah. Been wanting these babies for a long time. Ooh, yeah. These feel great.
Well, somehow that foot got better, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Once you get inside these babies, ooh, everything's healed.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Don't touch me. 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 Guess I'll be on my way.
Alright.
Get this crap out of my way.
Hey, take it easy.
Get this crap out of my way. I'm trying to get out of here. Jeez.
Doing?
Get out of my way. I'm trying to
Leave
leave.
other slippers?
No, you can keep them, Taryl. I'm out of here.
Pterodactyl here, and today's how-to is going to be on what to look for when you're buying a used snowblower. And you know what the best snowblower to buy is? The ones they sell in Florida. Get it? And look for a Taryl's toy on this mini bike in the future. Because this is my mini bike. I did get it from Slippers. Okay, here are the two main snowblowers that they sell. This is a single stage that uses the rubber paddle. Single stage meaning this is the only stage. And this is a two-stage. This is the first stage, and this fan in the back is the second stage. These are the two snow blowers, and I'm going to show you what to look for when you're buying a used one. If you're buying a used paddle snow blower, you're going to want to check these paddles because they are rubber and they wear down. Rule of thumb, if you can get your fingers behind that paddle in the back, these paddles is wore out. So you need to replace the paddles and the scraper bar because they wear together. This is the scraper bar or shave plate they call it. So if you're going to buy a used snowblower, you know, you can use that as a bargaining chip if, you know, on the price. You can go, well, this thing needs new paddles and a new scraper. Check to see if this is all worn down underneath here too. Because a lot of times people will wear the scraper bar all the way down to this housing. So just flip it back like I did and inspect it. Don't be afraid, you're spending your money on it. Another thing, there's a belt under this cover. That belt may need to be replaced too, depending on how old it is. So, if you go to look at a used snowblower and these paddles is wore out, and this scraper bar is wore out, chances are you're going to want to replace that belt too. Plus, if it's wore down enough, it'll wear into this cover. So you're going to check all that when you go to buy it. Another thing you're going to want to check, make sure the chute moves. Make sure that moves. Make sure there's no missing bolts. Make sure it starts. If it's got an electric start, which runs on a 110 volt starter, which you plug in, make sure that works. Get an extension cord, plug it in, make sure it starts, because if that electric starter is broke, that's real expensive. That could cost you $150, $200 for a new starter. So check all that. So don't be afraid to flick it up, look at it, look underneath, make sure it ain't all rusty and wore out. And that's what you need to look for on a single stage rubber paddle type snowblower. Alright, the brands that I like, because I work on these things all the time, are the Taryls. These Taryl CCR models, these are good snowblowers, and I'll tell you why. I like that it uses one single paddle for the auger that's in the shape of the auger. So if you hit something, chances are you're not going to bend this too much. Where some other snowblowers, they use multiple paddles, where it may have, you know, anywhere from 8 different paddles that you have to bolt on there that are in the shape of an auger, and if you hit something, you have a tendency to bend that. And then these are simple to replace too, because look, it's just one big piece of rubber. You unbolt it, you unbolt this, replace it, and you're good. So I like the Taryls. The Hondas are good too. I like the Hondas. They're simple and easy to work on. Taryl and the Honda are the ones, in my opinion, that are good. Okay, now a two-stage snowblower, if you need a two-stage, a couple of things you're going to want to look for are the skid shoes. This has got skid shoes on it that are adjustable. See if they're wore out and need to be replaced. If they do, you know, you can say, hey, it needs skid shoes. It's also got a scraper bar or a shaved plate. Look at that, see if that's wore out. And then check these augers. Make sure they're not bent. Make sure the shear bolts aren't broke. Another important thing, shear bolts on these things. The reason they're shear bolts is they're supposed to shear if you hit something. You just don't go to the hardware store and put regular bolts back in there. You know why? Them bolts are hard. They're not going to shear. You know what's going to break? This gearbox here in the middle. This is real expensive to replace. So get the actual shear bolts that go in there, get some extra ones and keep them. A lot of these newer snowblowers have a little compartment where you can keep the extra shear bolts, or you can do like we do, and you can tie them to the handle somewhere so you got extra ones so you know where they're at. The belts are located under here. You're going to want to look at the belts too if you're buying a used one, or find out if they've been replaced recently. And then of course, make sure it starts. And if it's got a 110 volt starter like this one, plug it in, hit the button, make sure it works. Because some of these older ones, the starter, the Bendix in there gets rusty and it don't want to kick in and kick out. You got to take it apart and clean it, put a little never sees on it. And then check the chute, make sure the chute moves nice and free. And then on these MTDs, check and see if there's any play on these cables. Because if you got excessive play in these cables, you can adjust that out and that'll give you more positive tension on those belts that are under this cover. So that's a few things to look at. Make sure it starts, and when it runs, put it in gear and then put the lever down for the wheel drive and hold back on it. I'm going to demonstrate that and show you that. That's how you test the drive. You want to make sure that drive is pulling, so start it up. You're buying this thing. It's like buying a used car. Test it out. Make sure everything works. Because it's got a little friction drive wheel on there that runs on rubber. That thing may be wore out, or you might have a bad belt. You don't want to buy this thing and then pay too much money for it, and then all of a sudden have to take it to a shop, and then they're going to tell you it needs a friction disc, it needs new belts, it needs this. You know, you're spending all that money, you might as well just go buy a new one. So you can use all these little tips to help negotiate the price of the snowblower. Now, two-stage snowblower over a single stage. My opinion again. I don't really like the two-stage ones because they tend to clog up easier when you're blowing wet, heavy snow. These things will plug up. That's why a lot of them, they put a little shovel in there so you can dig it out so you don't stick your hand in there and get your hand cut off. These clean right down to the sidewalk because that rubber paddle rubs the ground and, you know, rubs right down. Plus, when it wipes against the back here, it's wiping that snow out and throwing it out. Other little tricks you can do to keep the wet snow from sticking is you can use wax, canning wax you can rub in there. And I'll show you how to do that. Now, a lot of people have to have a two-stage snowblower because they may have a gravel driveway and that thing's going to sling rocks when it grabs them. This, you know, see this one? This person's got a gravel driveway. He's got the skid shoes adjusted all the way down so it kind of skims over the gravel and doesn't grab it and suck them in there. But again, like I said, these tend to clog up with wet, heavy snow. And a couple tricks that you could do over the years is, some people say you can put Pam cooking spray. You could spray that in there, Pam, because the snow won't stick to it. Well, that only lasts for a little while. I like to use canning wax for canning and candle making. Just like on, like if you got snow skis. That's what the snow skiers do. They wax their skis so they don't stick on different consistency of snow. So I like to get these bars of wax and you can rub it all in here. And this will help to keep the snow from sticking. But you gotta rub it on there everywhere. All inside here, all on the blades. Put a good coat of wax on it. All inside the chute. Rub it everywhere. Now there's another product called Mow Deck. And this is supposed to keep grass from sticking to the bottom of lawnmowers. It'll also work for snow. You could spray it on here. This product, if you spray it on, it's supposed to add layers to it over time and it's supposed to work good. I personally haven't tried this yet, but I've been told that this works, so this is something to look at. It might be easier and faster than rubbing it. Same thing, you can do this wax trick on a single stage too. You can rub that on there. Alright, as far as brands, which brands to buy in a two-stage snowblower, there's three that I like. I like Taryl, I like Aaron's, and I like the Murray. I like the Murray snowblower. They're easy to work on. The parts aren't that expensive, and they seem to be good in the 2-stage. In the single stage, again, I like the Toros and the Hondas. I like them. All these little snowblowers with the rubber paddles, they're not bad. It's just these Toros and the Hondas, they're better, and I like them better. And I like them better. So I hope all these little points and stuff I went over on purchasing a used snowblower helps you in making a decision on what kind of used snowblower to buy, or maybe even a new one. And there's your dinner.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.